Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Thunder Today YouTube channel. I am your host, Dylan Hibbard, and in today's video, we're just going to go over some more games that have been announced for this upcoming season. Now we have our second game of the year, who we will be talking about, the Indiana Pacers. We will have an NBA Finals rematch opening week. And then on MLK Day in February of 26, we will be facing off against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We will talk about that game a little bit. And then at the end, we will talk about a Thunder defender who held Jokic to some of his worst shooting percentages and averages and all of last season, and we'll talk about who that is. But first off, we'll just talk about these two games that have been announced for the Thunder this upcoming season. So far, that has been announced. We have been announced that opening night we will start on October 21st on NBC/Peacock. We will be raising our banner and getting our rings in front of Katie and the Houston Rockets. We will also be playing on Christmas for the first time in over a decade. We will be playing the San Antonio Spurs in the second game of Christmas. But there's also been a couple of other games announced so far, and our second game of the year. So the first game of the year is on October 21st. This game will be on October 23rd against the Indiana Pacers. This is a NBA Finals rematch. Unfortunately, Tyrese Haliburton will not be playing this season, and now the Pacers have also lost Miles Turner to the Milwaukee Bucks in free agency. So this is not going to be as strong of an Indiana team that we saw even in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So that should be a game that will have a lot of hype. It's going to be on ESPN. And it's an NBA Finals rematch. In Indiana, it's going to be their first game of the year. They're going to come out. They're going to be ready to get at it, especially since we were the team that beat them in the NBA Finals. They're going to want that revenge. So right out of the gate, the Thunder's first two games are against the Houston Rockets at home, and then this game is in Indiana, so you're having to go back to Indiana and win in your second game of the year. So the NBA scheduling has really put the Thunder to the test early on. I mean, that's what you expect when you win the finals. You should be getting half of your games should be getting nationally televised against teams that will be contending for the championship, and you should be on the biggest stage proving that you are still the top dog until somebody can beat you these next playoffs. You are still the top team to go after, and the teams that you will face on a nightly basis will give you the best they have, and we're gonna have to see a lot of growth and maturity from this team even more. You're just gonna have to continue to grow, and we're gonna see that from Mark Dagnall and his players if we're gonna be able to gain that. And another game that we're gonna talk about is on Martin Luther King Day. That is in February 26th. It has been announced that we will be playing the Cleveland Cavaliers on NBC and Peacock. Once again, NBC and Peacock has picked up some NBA rights, so we'll be seeing a lot of games on there. So if you weren't able to see yesterday's video, once again, if you don't have Peacock and you want to see a lot of NBA games, you're probably going to need to consider getting Peacock if you don't already have it, if you're not a fan of like WWE, if you didn't have it for that reason. But Thunder Cavs, speaking of, this is another matchup that could be a possible NBA Finals matchup. The Cavs, in a weak Eastern Conference, they have a chance to make it to the finals and match up against the Thunder, a team that we've talked about a lot and I think match up very well with us, with the guys of Mitchell, Mobley, Allen. They match up just for size and scoring ability from the guards. I think they match up really well. It's just, is it going to be able to translate in the playoffs? Because we saw this past year, they lose to Indiana in the second round, and I mean, obviously that's what the Thunder did a year before, so maybe the Cavs, learning from those mistakes, come back and make it to the finals, and we see a possible Thunder-Cavs NBA Finals matchup. But this is going to be a game in February, so kind of around that All-Star break time where this is going to be a big game. It's going to be nationally televised. Can the Thunder... The Cavs were the only team all last year the Thunder lost to in the regular season. They went 29-1, and that one loss was to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So can the Cavs figure out a way to slow down the Thunder, or are the Thunder just going to continue to dominate the East even more this year now that it's even weaker? Will the Thunder even lose to an Eastern Conference team? If they do, this is one of those games that it could happen. So that's going to be a big game towards the middle slash latter half of the season, just to continue to kind of keep your eyes on, because I mean, there's going to be these games all across the season, and I mean, there's going to be many more. We're expecting about half of the Thunder games to be on national TV. That's including ESPN, NBC slash Peacock. All those games that are on national televised games we're expecting about half of those games to be for the Thunder, and I mean, rightfully so. When you're the NBA champions, I think you deserve to be up there with the likes of your big markets like the Knicks, like the Lakers, your Warriors, teams like that who have the big name stars, and now you're right up there. So for the Thunder, it's just, with all this media attention, you're going to have so many more people looking at you. You're going to get the best from each and every team. You're going to get the most from each and every team on a nightly basis, because you are the champs, and they're going to want to prove that they can beat you and they can beat the defending NBA champs, and that just gives them a bit more momentum, not only against you in a possible playoff scenario, but if it's a team that's in the play-in bubble, whether it's the West or the East side, you go and beat the Thunder, who's a contending team. That gives you motivation to go on a possible 4 or 5 game win streak, and that could, in a Western Conference, switch you from in a 10 seed all the way up to a 4 seed in a blink of an eye. So, I mean, those games that each and every night the Thunder will play is going to be big, not only to continue to win and go for another title, but know that each and every night the team is going to throw your best at you, so you're going to have to be able to control it and understand how to navigate that as a defending champ. But we'll get into our last segment of the day, and it's kind of talking about a stat that came out on X, talking about who were the best 15 defenders on Nikola Jokic based on how much they held him field goal wise, to points, stuff like that. And overall, Chet was ranked the 3rd best defender on Jokic this past season, and he was actually the best defender at holding Jokic to his worst true shooting percentage. So when people talk about how Chet is scrawny and can't handle the guys like a Jokic, Embiid, Anthony Davis, that kind of just proves that that's not right. And I believe the only 2 guys that were better against Jokic were Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner, 2 guys who are great on Jokic. Domantas Sabonis, for some reason, always feels like he plays 20 times better when he faces him. And Miles Turner is a depoy type of guy. So to see that from Chet and be right up there with Chet in the sense of he's up there not only as an all-world shot blocker, but he's able to defend, without a doubt, one of the 2 best players in the league. For most people, the best player in the world. So for Chet and the Thunder, you want to build off of that, and you realize that his defense is all world, and you really want to develop that. And I've been seeing Chet working in the gym. There's been so many photos and videos of him in the gym working and just continue to build that mass, and that's going to be big to being able to stay healthy and take those bumps from guys like that who think you're scrawny, but you're still playing at an all-world defense of play. But that'll be it for me today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the schedule making so far. Do you think these are games that you're looking forward to? Have there been games that you thought would have been announced so far that we weren't a part of? But let me know down below also what you think of the Chet thing. Do you think Chet can be a viable option on Chet and even this upcoming season, or do you think we still throw a bunch of different looks at him? That'll be it for me today, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button down below, and that'll be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.